Hello friends, welcome. I'm Robin with Zimmy Simple Designs. If you see the red live light, you've caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in #replay, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you're new so I can welcome you to my page. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Says I'm live. There I am. Start sprinkling. When you pop in, say hello. Watching for people. Okay, I see people coming on. I don't see comments yet, but oh my. Get sprinkled out. Hi, Miss Tracy, how are you? Hi, Lori. How's Lori doing? Is it hot there in Texas today? I'm getting frustrated. All right. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Kefany. Hi, Roseanne. Oh my goodness, you're watching a video from 2022. Thank you for sprinkling, Yvonne. I appreciate it. That one, wow. Wow. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. I appreciate it. You guys are always just so sweet. Welcome to my segment in Craft Around the Clock. I don't know who's up next. Sorry, guys. It changes all the time. 88 and cooler than it was yesterday. Okay. It's still cool here, and the wind's blowing again. But we are getting some rain. We've had some rain already today, and we're supposed to get more. So that's a good thing because we could really use the rain. So, but it's chilly. It's chilly. Hence the sweatshirt. I'm just ready for it to get warm and stay warm. I'm just ready. I'm just tired of this. All right. So today I'm doing a brand new wood kit today, and it's a little watermelon with a crow. Hi, Kimberly. Is our little wood kit we're doing today. Hi, Shannon. So this is the crow's body. It'll go on the top, and then this is his little head. Of course, you can't really tell. And then this is our slice of watermelon, and it's going to be a hanger. What do I use to store my prints? I store my prints. I have a filing cabinet. Is it, Lori? I have a filing cabinet upstairs that I have had many years ago. When I first started out, I did card making, and I have these two big units. One has all drawers on one side, and one of the others I think had one has all, they both have. One has all drawers. The other one has like little cubbies and then has a few drawers. And then there was a centerpiece that has two like filing system, like a filing cabinet. And I have that, and I have all of my prints stored in there. Is where I keep them. my paints. Where do I keep my paints? I keep them stored right here on my desk. I bought a paint holder off of Etsy. I need a new one. It's kind of getting warped because it's actually a laser cut paint holder. And so it's wood, and it's from the weight of the paint, it's slowly starting to kind of break down. But that's where I got mine. I can take a picture of it and send it to you. Now, it doesn't hold like these big bottles of paint. It only holds the little bottles, but it holds about, let me see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 14 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 times 8. All right, that's fine. I can take a picture of it. I got it off of Etsy, and like I said, I need a new one. But I don't know of anything that you can get to hold these bigger bottles. I've not seen anything, so they're just stacked on my desk. If you guys could see from here, you would be shocked. You would understand why I only have this little area to craft. It's not that bad, but my desk isn't that big either. So anyway, so we're going to get busy. We're going to paint our little watermelon. And we're going to start off. We're going to use Spanish moss, folk art, home decor, Spanish moss. And we're going to start with the rind. I'm going to do this freehand. It's not going to be perfect. 56 paint, Sandra. You're good, girl. I was like, however many that is, I'm not good with math. I never was good with math. I've never claimed to be good. But then it also is supposed to, has room that you can store your paintbrushes and all that thing. But I just keep my paints on it. But like I said, I do need a new one. It's starting to kind of, I've had it for about 5 years now. So, and with the weather and, the wood, starts warping and all that stuff. So, hi, Linda. Hi, Pat. Anyway, so we're going to get busy painting. And I like this green. It's not quite the shade of what a watermelon rind is, but I do like this shade. So that's why we're going with it. And I'm just going to freehand this. We're just going to I'm just going to, freehand it. I'm not going to get real picky with this at all. It's going to be very primitive. But that's what I like. So, hi, Glenda. How are you today? So anyway, I'm assuming my daughter's doing well because I haven't heard anything from her. So no more conversations with the 4-year-old on how his mama's doing. Hi, Diane. How are you today? And I'm just going to kind of, like I said, go around this. Hi, Deborah. How are you? How is your day? So we're just going to kind of, and that's what I kind of like about this. I'm doing it kind of primitive because it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's what makes it fun, I think, is when it's not primitive. A bit chilly here. Yeah, it's chilly here too. I don't know what the temperature is, but that wind's, it's got a little bite to it. I'm just hoping they're predicting, well, down south, it is a little warmer than it is here, and we're saying this morning if it does warm up, then some of our storms could be severe, but Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Not like some other places. I know places in Kentucky really got slammed, guys. I know. Prayers for them. That's for sure. I think Kefani's from near there. Good. How are you? I'm doing good. I am doing good. So that's, like I said, see, I'm just getting real, I'm not going to be really particular. And then I'll go in with white, and then we'll do the red to get our, and I think what I'm going to do for the seeds, I was going to do buttons, but then I decided what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the back of a paintbrush and do polka dots for the seeds. I think that would be cute. Or I thought it would be cute. And I went a little wide up here at the top. With my green. So we'll cover that up. Hopefully it'll cover up with the paint. I guess maybe I could take, it's supposed to get cold and rainy Wednesday and Thursday. Is it? It's supposed to rain here today, tomorrow, and maybe some Wednesday, but then by Thursday it's supposed to be out of here. Hopefully. And then kind of warm back up. I still don't think it's going to get, I'm going to try and see if I can wipe this off. I went a little wide right here. So, but I don't know if this is going to work. It's still wet, so I'm hoping. Hi, Margie. How are you today? All right. Let's go a little bit more. And then I'll cover it up with the white, so I'm not going to be... That's good. There we go. So there's our green. And like I said, I know that's not traditionally, you know, the green that, I guess, it's probably not the right accurate green for a watermelon, but I liked this green. I thought it was a pretty color. So then we're going to go in. I'm going to dry this really quick. So guys, if this is too loud for you, you might want to turn your sound down. My town got hit Friday night. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kefani. Everything has lost loved ones. Some have lost. Yes, I saw that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My heart goes out to you guys. That is so sad, Kefani. I'm so sorry. Listen to my new mom. I'm just going to dry this really quick so I can do my white. I'm doing good. All right. So now we're going to do, hi, Kim. Which green? It is Spanish moss, Kim. Spanish moss. I like it. It's kind of a different shade of green. And I'm using, it's called Angel. It's kind of like a creamy white or antique white chalk paint. And that is probably way more paint than what I need since I'm just doing a little line here. And I think I'm just going to go the width of my paintbrush to do the white. We're just going to kind of make a line. Well, maybe. Like that. You have to get some, it is a pretty color, Kim. I'm not much of a green person, but I thought that was pretty. But you know, I almost used moss, Waverly moss, but I liked this color better, this green better. But you know, to me, any green you got on hand would probably work. And as you can see, this is not, like I said, it is not perfect. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just going like the width of my paintbrush and following around the green. And then we're gonna sand this a little bit, get it a little distressed. And I'll probably wind up sticking my arm. Hopefully I won't stick my arm in the paint. So I'm kind of loading it a little bit and just following around. So everybody having a good day. I had to run a couple of errands this morning, and I have no idea. I went to the store, picked up a few things, and I don't even know what we're having for dinner. I have some leftover. I make a dip. It's like, it's not, well, it's not really. It's just Philly cream cheese and Hormel chili and cheese, like regular cheddar cheese, layered, and I warm it up, and it's really good with corn chips. And it makes I do it a lot, and we have it for dinner because it's kind of hearty. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Karen. How are you? So that's what it looks like. So like I said, this is far from being perfect. I think that's what makes it fun for this, and that's kind of how I wanted to do this when I decided to do this wood kit and bring it out. I kind of wanted to give it kind of that primitive look. You're driving home? Well, be careful, Debbie, driving home. I seen you went this weekend and did some yard sailing and thrifting, and looked like you got a lot of goodies. They haven't really started. There's been a few yard sales around, but not too many quite yet. Here in Iowa, of course, it's not been, usually Memorial Day, usually that kind of kicks it off here, the yard selling and stuff. Oh, it is, it's really good, Linda. Hi, Chunky Joyful. I'm gonna try this. It is a pretty green, isn't it, Kim? All right. So now I'm going to do the red. This is Holly Berry, and this is another chalk paint from Nicole, and I like this red. And I'm hoping and praying that I have enough. I should have. There's not a whole lot of space, so I'm hoping. I do have another red. I guess I can, I don't know, maybe, oh my goodness. I might have to mix the two, I don't know. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. And let's see, let me find a fairly, we'll try this brush. And I'm just gonna go up against that white and we're just gonna start painting. And I probably should do 2 coats, but because I'm gonna sand it anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's gonna give us enough of a, you know, enough red look, I think, that I'm not gonna be that picky with it. And I'm just gonna follow this line and kind of where I've made a few boo-boos, kind of cover that up. All right. I don't know if anybody, I haven't even heard from, I don't think my husband's heard from his friend in Arizona to know about the forest fire there. So I haven't even been up. We haven't been updated on that. Last we knew, they were still evacuated. I got like a chunk of something in there. I didn't hear nothing on the news, but they don't always report that on the news. Hi, Criselda. So we're gonna get this here. Like I said, I'm gonna do polka dots for the seeds. And you could use scrapbook paper to do this. Most chalk paint is a little thicker than regular paint, Roseanne. But I know that sometimes, as like some of the paints, chalk paints, as my bottles get like towards the bottom, it'll thicken up more. Like my black, I did have to add water to it because it was really getting thick. And so you can add, just make sure that you add distilled water, because you don't want, if you use regular water, you risk bacteria growing in there, and then you have like penicillin growing in your paint, basically. So when I do add water, I do use distilled water. But not always, you know. Some colors are worse than others about thickening up like that. You know, I find that Waverly chalk paint seems to be thicker, but I don't use much Waverly chalk paint. But the ones that I have used, depending on the color, some are real thick, some aren't. So I don't know if the pigment has something to do with it. But yes, typically chalk paint is a little thicker than just regular acrylic paint. Hi, Sharon. I am going to hit this again in some spots. I have just enough, I think. It's a new bottle. Well, you know, I have this celery and moss, And those are both Waverly, and I haven't had much of a problem with them being really thick, but I've got another one. It's I can't remember the color of it. Cashew, I think, and it seems to be really thick compared to them. So I don't like I said, I don't know if that has something to do with it. I think I saw my daughter. Hey, Kayla, how are you? Yep, there's my daughter. How you feeling? I'm just kind of using up this paint that I have left here and hitting some spots with this red that seemed to be a little thinner. All right, but we're pretty good. Thank you for sprinkling, Karen. All right, we're good. Just kind of use this up. I do need to place an order for paint, that's for sure. All right, we're done. Yeah, we're done with that. Well, no, because I got to paint my crow. So we're going to move this, but like I said, it is far from being perfect. And we'll sand it, and but I didn't want it to be perfect. So now we're going to paint the crow, and we're going to do him in the coffee bean, the Dixie Belle coffee bean. Smidge still, but better. Oh, that's good. Just watching TV. Just loafing. Thank you, Sharon, for sprinkling. I understand. I understand perfectly. You will be sore for a few days after that surgery. Although I found that the worst part of that surgery was the gas afterwards. Because they, fill you with gas. I don't know if most of you know, my daughter, Kayla, had surgery over the weekend. She's chatting with us today. So here's our crow. We're getting him done. And then I'm going to do the beak in gold nugget. And then I've got some little eyes. We're going to try. Your shoulder hurts the worst. Oops. Yeah, that was the worst part of it. I was sore, but boy, the gas was the worst. And my whole, body was not just, I know some people, their shoulders bothered them. It was like my whole chest and everything. It was like all that buildup of gas that they blow you up with to do that surgery. But it was the only one. I know that when they do a laparoscopy, they do the same thing, and I didn't notice it too bad with that, but all right. Yeah, she's healing. It was hard being here away from her. I wished I could have been there to help her out with Mr. Sawyer. Him and his, are you a doctor or a nurse? Oh my goodness. Mr. Nosy. It was funny though when he asked that doctor or that nurse, when he turned the camera so I could say hello to my daughter's nurse when she was in the hospital. He's still obsessed with the pictures. That's crazy. He finds them fascinating. Pictures of your gallbladder, I guess. I don't know. All right, we're trying to hurry to get this painted up here. All right, so there's our crow's body. And then I'm going to do his head. And like I said, if you want one of these, just private message me. They're $15 plus shipping. So just let me know. I have some stars too, if you guys are doing your patriotic stuff. I do offer some stars. I'm just going to kind of do with this guy the way I did my little watermelon. We're just going to kind of take a guess at where his little beak would start here. Oh, thanks. I'm in the, oh, and I'm got the little half beads. I've got little half beads for his eyes. So we're going to paint those up. Because you know me, I don't like them being shiny. So real quick, get them painted. Since I have the paint, black paint out. And then we'll do his beak. Oops. Oh. So we'll try this. Oh, sorry, guys. I've been fighting sinuses again. So when does your husband flies in tomorrow, right? Here he comes, Sawyer. He said, "Hey, that's my Pama. Why are you talking?" I just thought I would just talk. She's making ice cream. No, I'm not making an ice cream, Sawyer. All right, so this is Gold Nugget. That's what we're going to paint his little beak. Hi, Renee. You're not on replay. I'm still live, sweetie. You caught me live. Hopefully I can do this without pouring any paint out. And I just went with this color. I couldn't remember if their beaks were orange or yellow. So we're going with orange or yellow. Hey, Debbie. Guys, if you are noticing, if you're commenting and I'm not commenting back for whatever reason, Facebook is not notifying me. I'm not getting them in my notifications, and I don't know why. I'm really getting frustrated. I've done everything, looked everywhere to see if I turned something off accidentally or what. Every blue once in a while I'll get, but I'm getting tons of comments of people commenting on other people's posts, but not on my own. You had me earlier. Comes home tomorrow, so fine. The flight's on. Okay. I thought you said he came home tomorrow. So hopefully it stays. And he doesn't have the issues coming home that he did. Yeah, I don't know, Debbie. I don't know what's going on. It's been probably a week now. just before they had that big old glitch going on, and it's not, I don't know. So now I have to go to the actual post and go through the comments that way. And I try to catch them, but yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on. All right, so everything is dry, hopefully. So we're gonna sand. My dog's little ears perked up because my chair squeaked. The book, that's true, Yvonne. Debbie, you guys are right. When is the Book of Faces ever very nice to us? Seems like. The harder we try to follow the rules, it's like the harder Facebook makes it for us. I don't get it. All right, so I just got my little gator sander, and we're gonna go around and we're gonna get this, give this a little bit of distressing. Like I said, it's driving me bonkers because I keep thinking people's probably thinking I'm ignoring them. And hopefully, I'm just going to try and sand each one of these. Probably not very individually, but I'm going to try and not sand the red with the white, because otherwise it kind of sometimes turns pink. And now I'm going to do this. And some reds are worse than others about that. I don't know. All right. That's good enough. I got a paper towel here. We're going to wipe this off. I don't know, I want more. I know, I'm never very happy with it, and I always sand a little more. I think that's enough, and then it's like, no, I want more. And I don't want to sand any more of that white, because that red is on there. Let's see, maybe I can use this other. It's not the same grip, but it'll work. There we go. My husband's been working on a dresser for a guy. Well, actually, it's the gentleman's wife, I think. He's been working on that. So he's been staying busy. So that's what we got. My little, just roughed it up just a little bit. And then we'll do the, I'll probably have to get a different sanding pad here and do this. Nope. Where is it? There we go. That's what I'm looking for right there. Because that, red is all in there, and I don't want red to get in the black. But I want to get this distressed. And this will get it really quick. And we might be getting some arched frames. My son was able to do a frame for me. We got one done, but he's working at possibly finding another pattern that cuts him a little quicker. So I might be able to offer that. For people. It's like an arched frame. There we go. I'm watching time, guys. I'm trying to hurry. I think this takes the longest, seems like. There we go. Hi, Ruby. How are you? All right. Let's clean up my mess. Of course. I'm gonna flip this. This was the end of the roll of my paper towels. All right, so the way this is gonna go together, so we can get it together real quick, so you guys can at least see it together. This will get glued on right up here at the top. Hi, Jamie. Just centered. And you could put it up, you know, I'm going to put it right in the center along that edge. So we're going to get some of the Type Bond. And a little bit of Stick Fast. And the way the head is going to go on there, it's going to help with, you know, hold this body in place. Because you're going to put it right on that edge. Oops. Like that. Oh, nope, come on. Stay. I need it to stay so I can come on. Hold that a minute. And then I'm afraid to lay it down because I'm afraid it's not, yeah, it's not quite dry. Come on, dry, dry, dry. Okay, I think it's gonna stay. So then the head will go like this, and so it'll be partially on the watermelon, part of it'll be on the body of, so that'll help hold that together. this centered. All right. And then I'm going to put, like I said, it'll be a hanger. So I'll put the hole in the water, you know, a hole on each corner of the watermelon. So that's what he's looking like so far. And then I'll add, like I said, I'm going to add some little polka dots for the, hi Colleen. And then I'll add his little eyes. On here. So I will finish it and I will post, but at least you got to see them put together. So I'm gonna watch my time here really quick. Oops. And I always get oops. No matter how hard I try not to squeeze out much, tons comes out. But it's easy enough to cover. Anyway, guys, I will take a picture and I will post it of him complete. So stick around, make sure you're in Craft Around the Clock to see the next presenter. And I will post a picture of my completed little guy with the wire. And I'm going to add, like I said, probably going to add a little bow. But I think he's going to be cute. I think he's cute. Cute, cute. And of course, I'll add my wax, my dark wax around the edge. So, anyway. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you, Rose. Thank you, Sharon. Anyway, stick around, and I will probably watch the next presenter while I finish this guy up and get a picture posted. Thank you, Jamie. I think he's cute already. Anyway, thanks. I appreciate you all, and you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. And please be safe if you're in the storms. Please be safe, and I will keep you in my prayers. Love you guys. Bye.